Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Brakta Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, Basham Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone Rule World. This is Brother Nash DC Camp with another short lesson to edify the hopeful elect. Yeah, so you already know that Esau's on the move again. All right, he's always interested in how we can extend this rulership and this agenda to get our people to take the C-19 sauce. It's just a major step in that direction, and you just have to agree that the Lord is on his way back, man, because things are moving really, really fast. And you see how Esau's just going along with his plans, regardless of whatever the people say. All right, because they're going full steam with their propaganda. So you just have to understand that Esau has many ways of how he can achieve his goals, and using our people as shields and frontmen and front women to achieve his goals is just is always gonna be evident. All right, he always has to come up with every trick in the book that he can use. Okay, so I can already seen the video, of the interview. So just some key parts you just have to be aware of, man, because all these, jakes that you see out there that they always have to put on the news as making advancements in this and that. I want to find out that, Esau's just the one propping them up, because Esau always want to be in that position to choose, who among our people gets the spotlight. That's why he's always shutting down brothers' channels. Whoever is speaking the word of the Lord in sincerity and in truth, that channel is very likely to get shut down. Okay, and to be kept under constant monitoring, under constant surveillance. All right, you hear about brothers, talking about the computers acting funny, their accounts getting shut down, and their channels getting strikes. That's just Esau trying to cover up, the truth. And the Lord has already said that His word or His prophecies will come to pass. And there's nothing these elites can do, the elites of these Edomites, especially these Amalekites. All right. So I'm going to read a quick precept from the book of Sirach. All right. Always remember from the book of Sirach. I'm going to read. I'm going to start from the chapter 39. So it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men," all right, the prophets and our forefathers, all right, "and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables." So that describes the job description of the elect, all right, of the men of the Lord that preach the gospel in spirit and in truth. That's what it's what it entails, all right. There's no if, ands, and buts about it. It just shows that the men of the Lord are onto what Esau is about to plan. They see the whole playing field, and they know that his agenda to get our people the sauce injected into them is just to put a stake on them, and keep them from inheriting the kingdom. Basically trying to prevent the Lord from reclaiming his people, all right, from redeeming his people. So I'll play this portion of the video.
That's how I would approach it.
So in that conversation, in what I mentioned earlier, is that there have been advances in society, including African Americans in science. And my understanding is that independent monitoring board has African American scientists on it. In fact, one works with you directly. I don't know if she's on the board, but we know that we have an African-American scientist that works with you directly. And so this is, and talk, you can speak about her work, but also how important that is in terms of breaking down these myths in the historic trepidation, because it's a new day. It's not 1930 anymore. This is 2000. This is 2020.
Yeah, and that right there is a bunch of hogwash. See, it's not 1930 anymore. It's 2020. But still the same people in rulership, the Edomites, okay? And that's one thing Jake doesn't understand. Just because, you get a chance to be put on the front doesn't mean you've arrived or you've achieved anything. Well, that's one thing about the man of the Lord. You understand what the whole agenda is about. You don't get comfortable and think that you've achieved something in your place of your captivity. Yeah, so to the Lord Yahweh Shem Ashai Bashim Kwakadash, gets us out of here. You haven't really achieved much besides, having the gospel, which is a gift from the Most High. So all these goodies and trinkets that our people look forward to, that they're getting from Esau's system, it's about to be shut down. And the Lord's going to put our people through a test. All right? You have to make a choice. Either you choose, choose the world, perish with the world, or choose the Lord and receive salvation in Hamashiach Yahushai. And that's one thing that people fail to agree with, salvation. It's a narrow path. All right? That's why so many of our people are going to be destroyed in these last days.
20. And so the times have changed, and the input of African-American scientists in this process is much deeper than one might think. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think the example that you gave, Ambrose, is an excellent example. The very vaccine, that's one of the two that has absolutely exquisite level, 94 to 95% efficacy against clinical disease and almost 100% efficacy against serious disease, that has shown to be clearly safe. That vaccine was actually developed in my institute's vaccine research center by a team of scientists led by Dr. Barney Graham and his close colleague, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, or Kizzy Corbett. Kizzy is an African-American scientist who is right at the forefront of the development of the vaccine.
Yeah, so that's one thing you have to understand when it comes to, these last days. Esau's in desperation mode, and he has to use every available opportunity, all right, to achieve his goals. So Jeremiah chapter 9, I'm going to read verses 4 and 5. It says, "Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity." All right, so that's Jeremiah chapter 9, verses 4 and 5. All right, so just don't fall for the okie doke, man. And then he talks about the so-called scientist Kizzmekia. Then he mentioned a name called Kizzy. So I was like, man, that name rings a bell. For the brothers that watched the old Roots, you know what happened to Kizzy. Kizzy. Yeah. You could just go ahead and watch Roots again, man. You see what it tells you about the character, Kizzy. How she got raped, and she didn't tell Chicken George who his father was until years down the line, So that's how Esau is, man. It's just an inside joke, man. It was like Yes, when they said Kizzy, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, wow, because I remember when I was a little child in Nigeria, man, watch Roots. I'm like, oh gosh, what's Kizzy up to? Chicken Judge. So you just have to understand, man. It's something you have to be aware of, man. All those old movies, all those black exploitation movies. You have to go back and check some of them out. Whether it's Dolomite, whether it's Superfly, whatever one you get your hands on, it's available for you to watch online. And even Shaft, there's so many of them. All right, Blackler and everything else. You learn something from those times about how our people, were just trying to make a name for themselves and how they got juiced into the system, okay, of Esau's society, how they sold their souls and all that stuff. Yeah, so you just have to understand, man, Howard University has roots to Esau, man, and, you won't be surprised that, Howard University gets money from the government. There's a special provision for Howard University, when it comes to, Esau's agenda. All right. So, and they always like to call Howard the black Harvard. Yeah. So just understand, man. Esau's system is all about churning out zombies of our people, so he could manipulate, Jakes into thinking that they are achieving something while they are basically drifting farther and farther away from the law of the Heavenly Father, drifting away from their identity. That's exactly what Esau wants our people to do. He's achieved that through his educational system. Now he has to go, for the final nail in the coffin. All right. So the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44, clearly tells you that, Yahweh was telling our people, the so-called Pharisees and the wicked ones that are with them, the wicked Pharisees and the wicked scribes and the zombies that were with them, the horde, all right, was chastised them. He says, verse 44, you are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. And what are your lusts of Esau? Is to have his so-called, what you call it, his hype man. Just like we see these rappers that always have hype men, that always like to pump up the crowd. That's exactly what these so-called black civil rights leaders and all these so-called academics and all these so-called activists, their job is to hype our people, keep them in a trance, keep them, in the clutches of the system, keep them drinking the Kool-Aid, okay? And that's what their job is, Then it says, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. And is that clear? Back to the book of Genesis. Even the elder Kazakh from the Mississippi camp, he did an excellent lesson. And he went into the book of Genesis, all right, and tells you what Esau's about to plan, all right, because there is no truth in him. Yeah, so imagine what you're gonna do when they give you when they give you the sample of that vaccine, and you try to examine its contents. You'd be surprised what's in it. Okay, all types of madness, evil portions. So it says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and a father of it. And that's clear right there, So the Lord has already told us that we need to get away from lies and bribery and all these so-called blacks and whatever they would call themselves, leaders in the so-called black community. They're getting paid under the table by Esau, man. That's how they're able to move on to the next level. All the so-called Jesse Jackson and all the so-called Al Sharptons and T.D. Jakes, they're benefiting from Esau's system of oppressing our people. That's the reason why they're allowed to, keep what they have. All right. And then it says in the book of Jeremiah chapter 2. Jeremiah chapter 2, you're going to read verse 14 and 15. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? And this is a good example of seeing our people being spoiled, man. They've acquiesced, to the, to the slave master. They're becoming a doormat. All right, they're going along to get along because they think that Babylon system is the end all be all. And that's what you see. So even when you read that, when you listen to that song by Barrington Levy, murderer, it tells you the dress up in the jacket and the dress up in the tie. Them a vampire. Them will suck out your blood. Oh yeah, so it's hilarious, man. Then in verse 15 it says, the young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitants. Yep, and that's what Esau is about to do. And he already did it before. All right, the times of Jacob's trouble. Yeah, so you have to be aware of those prophecies, that things that took place, thousands of years ago, and what's about to happen very soon. All right, so even Job tells you about it, because here it tells you that the young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitants. All right, that's the sacking of Jerusalem, 70 A.D., and the book of Job chapter 30 tells you about that. Okay, Job chapter 30, verse 1, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. All right, so they're making the lives of the elect, miserable. Even 2/3 of our people don't understand what, is really going on. They're just willing to do anything to get away from their sufferings. Okay, then it says, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yeah, so, Esau, has not been a nation. Edomites have never been a nation to receive salvation from the Lord. And our people have never, the ancients of our people have never really, gelled with these Edomites, And just no unity with the nation of Israel, the nation of Edom. All right, that's what Job was saying here, that you can't really trust them to be around your animals, man. They're always up to something nefarious, okay? Then it says in verse 2, yeah, whereto might, all right, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. Yeah, so they're really not fit, They're really not fit, to serve. Even though, even though they're gonna be our slaves, they're not on that level. They're not on that level to qualify as someone like a nation that can serve. They're just not built like that. All right, they're just not built like that. Because every empire they had was always about someone else building it up for them. All right, so you have to understand that. And then final precept will be from the book of Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. And it clearly tells you that, whatever Esau has tried to plan is not going to come to pass. All right, so the Lord says here, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh Shema with an everlasting salvation. Yeah, so which Israel is the Lord talking about? It's talking about the Israel of the Lord, all right? The 1/3, right, including the elect and the remnants spread out throughout the four corners of the earth. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. All right. So the elect are not going to fall along, with this system of madness. All right. This time of trial is to purge the wicked from amongst our people.
So the first thing you might want to say to my African American brothers and sisters is that the vaccine that you're going to be taking was developed by an African American woman. And that is just a fact. I mean, that is a fact. And I think that's some of the things that people don't fully appreciate.
Yeah, that's the reason why the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is on his way to get our people out of here. He does not appreciate this nonsense that Esau is trying to do, because the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is on his way to redeem the elect of our people. All right. So that was the point that I came. Hope you've been edified. Just, go ahead and watch that series Roots again. All right. And, dig into the history of Howard University. It's always terrible things, man, that just give you a freaking headache. All right. Shalom.